All right, we're here at 2248 Scenic Drive. This is the latest flip that we're just wrapping up, and it should close here in the next couple of weeks. So we're gonna go back and talk through how we found it, how we financed it, our scope of work, and then our final numbers. So hopefully this will help you, give you confidence to keep hunting deals, maybe a different way to find something than you haven't thought of before, and then just kind of a recap and the success of how this one turns out, because this turned out to be a pretty darn good house. So we had actually done the house next door last year at 2258 Scenic Drive. And so we already had visibility on this street, and the house next door went up for sale. On the MLS, I did know the agent that was listing the house. So we got in and offered, because it's a very similar house to the one we just did next door, but there were two other offers ahead of us. Both those offers backed out. Turns out that there was a problem in the foundation in the back corner of the house. And so not only were we able to then move up to the front of the line, but the previous offers kind of beat the seller up a little bit, where they were willing to take a little bit of a discount once they realized that the market wasn't going to pay them what they wanted given the condition of the home, specifically the foundation repairs. So benefit to having flipped a lot of houses, I have already fixed 2 or 3 or 4 foundations before. So I knew who would be available to help us. And so in this case, we used Goliath Tech, where we used a screw pile system to lift the back house of the house up, secure it, stabilize it, and lock in that foundation so there's no future issues. So the first thing we did was we got a bid for the foundation so we knew what we were going to come in at. Then we went back and renegotiated our price with the seller. So we ended up getting this for about $50,000 or $60,000 less than what was at that point the listing price. And again, remember, we're in 2021 where the market is on fire and sellers are not conceding anything. But we benefited from being, in this case, third in line, solving a problem that other buyers did not want to solve, which really meant discounting the price to the seller. So that's how we found it. And it also helped that I had performed and done deals with this agent in the past. So they knew that we were going to come through and close on it when we said we would. So how we financed it is we got a private loan from an individual, and then we made up the difference with just cash. So we lucked out because our loan with this lender was like, I think it's at a flat 7.5%, no points, no nothing. So phenomenal terms for a fix and flip house. So that's how we financed it, and that's how we found it. So scope of work. Oh, let me mention our purchase price. We bought this for $630,500. It's about 3,100 square feet just on the east bench of Salt Lake City. You'll see some photos as we're talking. So scope of work. This house needed everything. We opened it up where the kitchen is. There were beams and walls here, so we opened it up. We made a very large master bedroom. We exposed the views that look out of the valley, and pretty much did all the basic things that you would expect for flipping what in our market is a high-end flip. Our final budget is going to come in at about $230,000. That includes $23,000 for the foundation repair. Everything else you see, how many bathrooms? We have 3 bathrooms, 4 bedrooms, all fully redone. This one was fully permitted from start to finish. So we're into this $230,000. So our final numbers, we ended up going on the market at probably a kind of a slow time for this price range when we first listed it. We listed it at 1.19, which was a very aggressive price, but we figured we had a really good property, and that, you know, if we got lucky because the market's hot, someone would grab it. But it sat for a little bit. People maybe weren't quite as excited about the price as we were. So at the end of the day, we dropped it, and then we finally dropped it to a point where we got multiple offers, and we settled on one that came in at $1,060,000. So the buyer now has done all their inspection items. We do have to replace a sewer line, which is not a big deal because there's room in the budget still to do it. And they're closing. They've already ordered their appraisal. So knock on wood that we're not doing this video a little too early, but they're set to close here in the next couple weeks at a price of $1,060,000. So as you see on the screen here, as we break down the numbers, we bought it for $630,500. We put $230,000 into it. We're selling it at $1,060,000 after paying outside realtor fees, our cost of money, all of our expenses, our rehab, etc., our net profit on this thing is going to come in at about $135,000. So that's not bad on a purchase price of $630,500. The other thing that I think we did really well on this house is we were start to finish from foundation fix to listing it in about 4 months. So from the time we bought it, by the time we're not going to own it, is going to be a little over 6 months. We might be creeping on 7 months. So that's allowing us to reduce our risk on the market by shortening that window of when we own it to when we sell it. And with this heavy of a remodel, I don't know if we could have done this any quicker. So these are the numbers on Scenic. Check out the before and afters. And if you like what you see, subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you ever want some of my free resources, including my fix and flip calculator and my BRRRR calculator, click on the link below and we'll get them for you. Thank you.